Welcome to This Explainer. Today we are decoding a really fascinating set of handwritten biological notes to understand what I think is one of the most incredible mechanisms in nature. We're looking at how your body acts as this highly efficient, totally automated factory. It works tirelessly, completely behind the scenes, to keep you perfectly balanced in a frankly chaotic world. I mean, whether you're stepping out into the freezing cold or fighting off a nasty bug, your body has a master plan. Here's the blueprint for our factory tour today. We're going to cover 1. Defining the dynamic equilibrium. 2. The 3 control components. 3. Negative versus positive feedback. And finally, 4. Vital signs and set points. Let's get right into it. Section 1. Defining the dynamic equilibrium. To really understand our body's factory, we've got to define its ultimate goal, which is homeostasis. As the source notes explain, homeostasis is a state of dynamic equilibrium. It's all about maintaining a constant internal physiological environment, even when the outside world is rapidly changing. And notice that word dynamic, right? This isn't some static, frozen state, no way. It's an active, fighting state. It involves this massive, continuous exchange of materials, ongoing cellular food processing, metabolism, and integrating all these different bodily activities so you can constantly react to the changes occurring inside you. It's a busy place. But for homeostasis to actually work, all your body organs have to constantly talk to each other. And according to the notes, this coordination is primarily controlled by the neuroendocrine system. You can think of this like the electrical signal network of the factory. It uses nerves, blood, and hormones to act as information carriers. Basically, they're delivering critical signals to wherever they're needed just to keep the whole machinery running smoothly. Moving right along to Section 2, the 3 control components. So how does the body process those electrical signals we just talked about? Well, it relies on 3 specific, sequential pieces of machinery. The notes emphasize a really fundamental rule here. Irrespective of the specific factor or the variable that's being regulated in the body, the mechanism of homeostasis is strictly controlled by exactly 3 factors. And they always operate in this specific order: the receptor, the control center, and the effector. Let's break down what each of these stations actually does. First up is the receptor. This is step 1 in our factory line, and you can picture it as the ultimate sensor. Its entire job is just to be on the lookout. It receives environmental changes from various stimuli, detects that something is different, and then transforms that stimuli into a signal that the rest of the body can actually understand. It is the initial alarm bell. Once that alarm bell is rung, the transformed signal travels along an incoming route, what the notes call an afferent pathway, directly to step 2, the control center. This is the brain of the operation. The control center receives the stimuli sent by the receptors. It identifies the body's ideal set point for that specific variable, analyzes the incoming information, and determines exactly what the suitable response should be to fix the imbalance. Finally, the command is issued and sent down a different pathway to the 3rd component, the effector. The effector is where the action happens. It receives the carrying information from the control center and translates that command into a physical result. Whatever physical response is actually needed to counter the initial stimulus, it's the effector that rolls up its sleeves and produces it. All right, Section 3, negative versus positive feedback. Our factory relies on 2 primary quality control loops to manage those effector responses. The absolute most common one is negative feedback, which means it works to reverse a problem. Think of the last time you had a terrible fever. Your body worked to decrease that heat and pull you back down to normal. But sometimes you actually need a completely different strategy: positive feedback. Here, the body actually enhances the deviation to solve a crisis. For example, if you get a severe cut, your body accelerates blood coagulation to rapidly form a clot by producing thrombin. It pushes harder and faster in the exact same direction until the bleeding stops and the crisis is resolved. It's pretty amazing. Which brings us to our final stop, Section 4, vital signs and set points. So you might be wondering, how does all this invisible internal machinery translate into the actual metrics your doctor looks at? Well, according to the source material, maintaining healthy function requires that your body continuously monitors its internal conditions. It's constantly checking on things like your body temperature, your blood pressure, and the exact levels of certain crucial nutrients flowing through your system. And what exactly is it checking against? It's looking for this set point. Each physiological condition has one of these, a specific physiological center around which your normal range fluctuates. It's basically an optimally stable, restricted set of values. If your body strays too far from this set point, the receptors fire up, the control center analyzes, the effector acts, and the whole feedback loop kicks in to bring you safely back home. These are the exact numerical targets your biological factory is fighting to maintain every single second of your life. It's why the nurse wraps that cup around your arm to check if you're resting near 120/80 millimeters of mercury. It's why they take your temperature to make sure you're sitting exactly at 37 degrees Celsius. Whether it's your fasting glucose hovering between 80 and 100 or a resting pulse of 72 beats per minute, these aren't just random medical numbers. They are the literal definition of your body's physiological balance. So, we've seen the incredible automated machinery inside you, the receptors, control centers, effectors, and those precise numerical set points. But considering how beautifully orchestrated these feedback loops are designed to be, it leaves us with a pretty massive question to ponder. What happens to our finely tuned equilibrium when our modern, chaotic, and sometimes extreme environments constantly push this delicate machinery past its limits? It definitely makes you appreciate